Parker. How are you? Nice to meet you. And where do you go to school, Parker?
I go to school at Booker T. Washington as well.
And what year are you?
I'm a junior.
All right, let's take a look at Parker's masterpiece. Fabulous. My goodness. Tell me the story behind this.
Well, actually, it was kind of following this idea for a narrative that I had, but the center figure, I would like to point out, is actually not myself, but it's a kid with long black hair, though. And he's actually a student that goes to Booker T. Washington as well, that's in music. But I was very inspired by like Frank Frazetta, and he like does a lot of comic book stuff. But his paintings, though, like a lot of it is left unfinished, and he does it in this way that I'm still trying to like really work with, because I'm kind of slow and I tend to pay a lot of attention to detail. That's why you can tell that like some parts in the piece are really, I don't know, concentrated, and some of the other parts are much more loose. But it's like trying to find like the balance between it, and so that way they can kind of like complement each other, I think. But yeah, so but you were asking, I kind of avoided your question. No, but you were talking about the story behind it. So yeah. But the thing is that the two characters that are there are the kid with the black hair is this kid named Dunno, and then the person behind him is Darryl, and Darryl pretty much helps out Dunno in these like life situations and tries to teach him, like there's like a huge sense of like redemption in the story or whatever, and it's like they are I don't know, he's just trying to make like a positive impact in his life, and that's why it's called Positive Impact.
Very nice. Yeah. And I see it's a little reminiscent of a graphic novel, and I see a little Shakespearean skull there too. It looks like you've had a lot of influences of the dramatic side.
Yeah, I would say so.
And what is this, watercolor?
Actually, it's there's a lot of gouaches, and gouaches are like watercolor, but it's kind of like it'd be a mix between like watercolor and I guess acrylic, because the pigment is way more opaque, I guess. But yeah, and I really like the way it kind of works itself on the page, because I like work with like Bristol paper, and I don't know, it just seems to work for me.
How long did it take you? You said you worked kind of slow. How long did it take you, and did you change your mind as you were creating it?
I didn't really change my mind too much. It was kind of just built up upon itself. But this one didn't take as long as some of my others. But like, let's say for instance, like I'm working on a painting right now, and like I've been working on it like for like the past like year. So it's something that like I take like a really long time. But this one only took me, I think, like maybe a total of 3 weeks or something. But that's pretty brief.
And the sort of skeletal creations up in kind of a cloud formation, what does that represent?
Well, the piece was actually, you were supposed to use like this concept of like angels and guardian angels, and for Dunno, Darryl represents sort of this guardian angel. So it was like the bird skeletons that are like coming down or whatever, like because like Darryl's like upon him or whatever, is supposed to represent that, I guess. Yeah.
And it was interesting, the first thing you said was that it wasn't a self-portrait. Do people assume that it was?
Well, yeah, that just seems to be a question that's asked a lot, if that's me, but it's not.
Well, what do you expect to do? You're a junior. Have you thought about where you might go?
Yes, but I don't know. It's been fluctuating quite a bit, because I don't know, I've thought about like, you know, maybe going to a community college first, but in terms of like art colleges, if I wanted to pursue art, there's like Kansas City Art, and that would be, I don't know, I think a really beneficial school for me. But I don't know, I'm also kind of, I play guitar, and I may want to do like switch off to a music route, and if that happens, I'd like to go to UNT. But that's yeah, just trying to figure out which one I'd rather want to do.
Nice.
And hopefully I can do both, but you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are able to kind of, you know, use many different artistic outlets. Well, you're very talented. Thank you so much. Good luck to you. Thank you.